Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another glorious day here at the Tango Hotel. Yes, indeed, friends. Okay, my door is closed. We are back. We are back. With another glorious day. Yes, indeed, of Rogue Traitor. Warhammer 40k. Yes, I cannot wait. It is magnificent. It is stupendous. I've been having so much fun with this nonsense. Like, the turn-based combat in this game is okay. Like, it's definitely serviceable. The graphics are serviceable. It's pretty good overall. The thing that has like enraptured me is literally the world building and it just pulling me into the 40k universe. I really need to start reading more Warhammer 40k books and like really get in on the ground running. So on that note, my dudes, are you ready for the most glorious and amazing of kumbayas? Let me see something here real quick. Yeah, for some reason, it's just not working. Whatever. So, on that note, my friends, it is time once again for us to dive straight into the simultaneous sip. And all you gotta do, my dudes, is grab that cup or mug or glass, perhaps you have a tankard, chalice, or a stein, maybe a canteen, jug, or a flask, a vessel of any kind. You fill it with your favorite fluid. I like. That's right, it's the morning coffee. It is deliciously, magnificently tango made. And join me now, friends, for the gloriousness, the stupendosity, the absolute awesome sauceness that is the simultaneous sip. Brothers of the Waffle, citizens of the Tango Hotel. This is happening right. Freaking go! That's it, baby. Sipping so good, you got to do it twice. Bam! There we go. Fear not. Fear not. The cup shall hover. Sorry. Like, the only reason I'm doing this is because, like, my desk it looks like crap. I don't think I've ever shown this on screen. But this is why there's a green screen here. It's just because it's just a brown microwave stand that I pulled out of my kitchen and cleaned when I moved back in and had to clean the house for my mom. And so I got a green screen mat for it so that I could just, you can just pretend it's not there. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. There it is. All right. I might end up having to take my sweater off. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I am burning the fuck up already. Luckily, it's 51 degrees outside, so I should be able to open my windows here in a little bit. All right. The Anthropathic station is dead ahead of the Void ship. Wait, what? Give me 1 second here. There we go. Is head dead of the Void ship. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its Vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death here, lurking in the shadows. You didn't hear nothing. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station all the more disturbing. The patter, greetings and salutations, my friend. How are you, sir? Well met. Well met. Alrighty. That's really weird. Because earlier I was standing and the thing was a lot higher. Oh, that's why. That's why. My chair's not all the way up. Doi. There we go. That better? Yes. Teacher! Alright, anyway. Contact the station by Vox. Great to see you. Really want to check this game? Dude, I've only been playing it for, I think, 8 hours. And a lot of that has been just me sitting here, like, pontificating and bullshitting and having a lot of fun with the game and doing a lot of the dialogue options. So if you're playing off stream, I'm sure you'd be a lot further with the amount of time I play. But this is essentially how I play video games. And so far, it is amazing. It is not responding. Perhaps there is no one left who could respond. Deploy a scouting team. The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Why didn't I go? Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged, as it were, across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of the ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. That and having to read every single dialogue just kind of just like, ugh. But, you know, streamer's life for me. What can I say? The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed blind old man sat motionless upon a tall throne. He was quite literally embedded in ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. It's one of those things where it's just like every moment I spend in this game feels like it's just pulling me in more and more. You can really feel the 40K in it, right? That's one of the biggest problems I had with Dragon Age is that so many times I'm actually like getting into something and then somebody says something or does something and it's just like, okay, well, obviously now I know I'm playing a video game. So thanks, game. Blaze, greetings and salutations. But so far this game has just absolutely blown me away with how just awesome it feels. And how very in-universe they tried to make it. Like Baldur's Gate 3, they wanted to make a product that was an escape from reality. And it shows. It absolutely shows. Like, even though this is like an RPG like Baldur's Gate 3, where it's like every little thing has like a menu option and all that stuff, it still feels like it just draws you in. Especially when they actually have voice acted lines. It's so good. Zachary Weiss. I know that name, but I can't remember who it was. Yeah. Well, it's 100, so let's send Zachary Wise to the station with a squad of bodyguards. Warp test succeeded. That's right. It's the choir master. Okay. Choir master Weiss boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of the man frozen in ice and held a telepathic conversation with him. Okay. Then Master Wise offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Wise reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy. The late choir master's amulet, taken from his frozen body after death. Wait, what? Immunity to horrors of the warp. Whoa. Damn. Okay. The amulet is painfully cold to the touch. It once belonged to an Athropath who stood strong against the horrors of the warp. Though its former owner met a terrible end, his unbending will lives on in the relic. Do you see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's like just it's the little things, dude. It's the fucking little things. That's crazy. The psychic shriek carrying across the immaterium has been silenced. But this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was making a different sound, one more terrifying and surreal. It was a melody of a cataclysm born from a warp storm of a titanic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles athropathic messages and crawls into psychers' minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immaterium has reached the Rogue Trader's void ship too. I do love my sound effects. They are quite funny. I don't know why that one's so long though. Anywho. Also, don't know why my chatbot is always fucked up. Like excuse me. It's maddening. That's number one, when things don't work the way they should. And two, it upsets me so that the only time it ever worked properly was like the first day. Right? Because as you can see, everybody who's typing, it's not showing up above me, but I'm connected and it's working. And if I do this and reset it, you saw it flash, but the moment another thing comes into chat, it doesn't pop up. Unless I hit the refresh. And I have no idea why. I guess I just need to find another chatbot again. So this will be my third one that I've gone through. Like, I've offered to like pay companies to do this for me, and no one has taken me up on the offer yet. All right. Order the station to be explored. Here we go. A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half the choir at once, turning the astropaths into living portals through which torrents of the immaterium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomican's light. Aren't they referring to the galaxy-splitting warp storm that has just taken over? Burn everything. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home. Well done, boys. Well done. All right, so do we go... Let's go to the Void ship. Oh, here we go. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Werison's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Okie dokie. What do you got for me, son? The everyday sounds of the bridge are disturbed by voices raised in anger. Albred's voice is the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a high-born brat out on a lock. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I do love it. Okay. The young woman, ooh. The young woman standing before Albert strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak with the Lord Captain. Is that so? Holy crap. It's Viking! It's Viking! Goodness fucking gracious. Alright. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain. Not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb her. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a high-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrelia Vint requesting permission to speak. Falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. I do like that you can't turn her away. That's kind of funny. Oh, wait, it's not working? Oh, it is. What? Okay. It's one of those days, boys. It's one of those days. So, what we're going to do... You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I am sorry, Lord Captain. I thought drastic times called for drastic measures, she exclaims hotly. The matter cannot wait. Actually, you know what? The matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced this step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. She's almost trembling with attention as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Oh, really? Really? Excellent. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Discord. Appreciate that. Or Moobot. I really need to, like, figure out a way to filter that shit. Anyway. Albert, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sourback, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. That's her, right? Yeah. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Wershian and to intervene in what is happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has very clearly been prepared to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Albert, then at you. There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship, and no one has informed me? I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, when we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order. But even 8 years later, we are still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering the people to fight against tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo of 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, she will quell the unrest. Maybe. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to pick up brawls in the mess room. I have already given you the means to resolve the problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your ladyship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. And where does the Seneschal come into all of this? I shall explain, Albert intones grimly. See what I mean? Dude, this is it's so good. Like the guys who work for frickin' Alcat know how to write. Oh my god. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on the ship. And one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself. Excuse me. My security system's going off. Oh. Snow White decided to go for a walk. I have always handled internal problems myself, so of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valentius shall find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Wershian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven people to the drink, she says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks in Depot 4. To be precise, 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I see was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Master at Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. Hi, Snow White, how you doing? Did you go feed the deer? Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Sourback bows her head in Albard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears upon her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Wershian's opinion of what fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Woo! Ooh, it's getting spicy! Ooh, ooh. You see, this is the problem I have with people saying, when people say Trump was cozy enough to dictators, this is how you give people criticism and allow them to save face. I respect the chain of command and realize this is not within my right to challenge my superiors. And then you go on to give the criticism, because now you've already diffused the situation by giving them authority. So when you negotiate with dictators, if you give them compliments and you say that them and their people are awesome and all this other bullshit, then what you've done is that you've allowed them to go back to their people and save face, so they don't have to screw you 8 ways from Sunday to appear strong in front of their people. So that way when you go do deals behind back doors so that you can make negotiations, you can actually play hardball with them and they won't fuck you in return. Just in case you were wondering. Mistress Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior deserves you no credit. Ooh. No. An old squabble I would prefer to let... No. Sourback, explain yourself. The ship's regulations state that a master at arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to ship's enforcers. And yet, it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Those enforcers and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. Ooh, I see. I cannot deny Master Wersian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your ladyship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master at Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to the Lord Captain to object to the Seneschal's order. I noticed a pattern in these actions. I mean, the lady has a point. And Albard, do you wish to respond? Mistress Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to reclaim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Ooh! Make me like her more, please. Your conduct in this regard has always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of erode the propriety, there you go, of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. As a member of the military, and who's seen this in action, I can absolutely attest to this. 100%. Yep. I've seen people do similar shit. It's never good. And the one time where it really happened on board my submarine, it was, yeah, let's just say it, somebody was getting too familiar with our division officer. And it wasn't necessarily either one of them's fault. You get close underway to the point where when I saw my division officer and he was walking up to me, I could literally insult the man to his face with vulgarity, and he would simply laugh and do the same to me. And that was just common parlance. Unless, obviously, there was a superior officer around, like the captain, the XO, maybe the engineer. If anybody like that was around, that behavior was unacceptable. It's essentially you learn how to play the game. But this individual, who was about my rank, had a problem, and instead of going to the through the proper channels, through the chain of command, he went directly to the division officer, and it was the division officer himself who reported him up his chain of command, and it was not good. Like, that was a fucking slapdown, and it was hardcore. And the reason is because when these things happen, you have to nip them in the bud. Otherwise, you undermine the entire authority of the chain of command. It's something I absolutely 100% believe in. Like, I dislike the way the Army and the Surface Navy do the separation of personnel, because it allows them to dehumanize those below them. However, being on a submarine, I have seen the opposite of that, where the fraternization can absolutely undermine the chain of command and potentially cause catastrophe, confusion, or even death. So it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, it's a fine line, man. It's a fine line. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. Ooh, damn, that's fire right there. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity. Bingo. Makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order. Now, the only way I could see this working in the same way is if Sourback was the one who pulled them out and said, you look promising, you should go to the Seneschal and get some private tutelage. If she were the one to do it rather than him pick them out, it would probably work a lot better. Lieutenant Vent, would you say the Seneschal has singled you out from your peers in any way? Lord Captain, I swear that the Seneschal has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions. Although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. And while not all of my fellows receive such attention, I know at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure they continue to strive. It's literally, it would be like if the captain of a submarine did the same thing to enlisted personnel. It's not a good look. Again, it's one of those things. It's like if your subordinates who are directly in charge of them were to send them up the ladder to be like, okay, you need some special tutelage from the captain because you're so promising. That's different, right? Than if the man himself comes down from on high and does it, right? To prepare new generations of dynasty servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That is my duty as Seneschal. This ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. And I have only myself to blame, I suppose. How did all of this start? Like, I love how the explanation of this was this back and forth between somebody I'll probably never see again in the story and my main enforcer plus one of my main guys in my retinue, right? And that was an explanation of what was going on. With me able to like ask questions and push and pull in various directions. This is why Dragon Age sucked. It's because we know what good games look like. We know what they look like. They look like this. The situation could boil over at any moment, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported up the chain of command immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between the enforcers and the workers to a head. And what is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, or besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Okay, now if that's true, we're going to have to purge the shit out of them. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rot gut brewing. Why is it illegal? Why would you make brewing alcohol amongst your lowliest servants illegal? Okay. We have handled the workers in Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect of all the neighboring sectors. All right, Albert, what do you have to say to all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. Like, every single one of these characters has a reason and motivation to do and believe the things that they say, and they explain it without word vomit. And it's eminently believable. Like, it's just... For my part, I order the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying, or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. Is this the DLC? I don't know. I would assume not. It's so early in the game. I don't want to say this. This is going to be a hard one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 4. I am certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Though and preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. Don't thank me. Like, the thing I want to say is don't thank me yet. Don't thank me yet. He grits his teeth slightly, an enterprise bordering on the sophomoric. But please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Absolutely 100%. Lord Captain, I regret the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot for myself and see the expedient resolution of the incident. Wait. Okay. We're just all gonna go? I guess we're all going. When in doubt, save. Yes. I need to level up my dudes. I didn't want to do it last time because it would take so long. Are we being escorted by... We're not. Okay. Let's go ahead and level up. Level these guys up. Okay, what's your willpower? 55. What is your archetype? She's an officer as well. Okay. And Bloody Augury. From any source of warp damage, the bonus damage stacks with each hit inflicted by the navigator. This stacks up to 5 times. Damn. You can't choose to be a navigator, can you? I'm sure you can't, right? The navigator gains 20 perception. Wow. Including extra turns with additional 3 movement points. Single target ability, each turn gains the same amount of additional movement. Dude, what the wow. Whenever an ally in combat gains an extra turn, the navigator gains a stacking +5 willpower bonus. Oh boy. Mind over matter. Dude, we could have that stacked in no time. Because my dude's an officer too, and I don't have any spells other than my main one to cast. Whenever an ally in combat gains an extra turn, the navigator gains a stacking +5. Oh yeah, that's right. Master over matter. Ooh. Wow. Seriously? Mind over matter? That's insane. Like, holy shit. All resistance tests. Dude. So that means she would gain like a bunch of... What's her toughness? 30. Wow. Wow, dude. Okay, so let's... They actually give you anything? Doesn't say they do. Anyway. That's just insane, dude. So, I mean, I guess we're just going to raise willpower. Yes, 55 perception and 55 willpower. She'll gain 5 more. And then we're going to probably, I mean, mind over matter seems really good. Enemies affected by the navigator's power suffer resistance tests from the navigator. Oh, God. Pass unscathed. The navigator's perception is higher than their agility. Their dodge is calculated with perception instead. Oh, my God, dude. Enemies moved by the navigator's power suffer 4 damage at the end of movement. It's increased by 1 for every cell they move. Damn. Uses navigator power. Veil degradation is used by 1. Nice. That sounds pretty good too. Heals 6 wounds at the beginning of every turn and gains 1 additional wound for every navigator talent taken. The healing increases by 1 for every What the fuck? Whenever the navigator uses the navigator power that has not been used in this combat, the navigator... Okay, plus 2 perception. That's cool. Whenever an enemy fails resistance against the navigator, attacks against that enemy gain 30 crit chance. The effect stacks, but it's... Dude! That is crazy! Dude, all of these talents are... What? Wow! No wonder you can't actually be a navigator. Holy shit. 1 damage for every 5 navigators' powers. So they're currently castigating, infusing. Wait, what? Allies that become targets of the navigator's power gain bonuses to all the characteristics equal to the infusing parameter. Until the end of the navigator's turn, this bonus stacks prolonged until the navigator... and devastating. The first use of an attacking navigator power turn does not set the power on cooldown and does not count toward the attack limit per turn. The second use of this power for the use of a different attacking navigator power on the same damage... Whoa. Oh, excuse me. Navigator's power deal plus 1 additional damage for every 5 bonus characteristics of the navigator currently equipped staff. Okay. Okay. That's fair. I understand it now. Enemies damaged by the navigator suffer plus 5 damage from all attacks of opportunity and cannot dodge them. Ooh. While under the effects of any navigator power, enemies have their armor reduced by -11. This reduction is increased by the devastating parameter of the navigator's staff, but does not stack. Allies plus 5 to all resistance targeted by the navigator. Warp effects caused by daemons, psychic powers, navigator powers to the end of combat. This effect stacks. Navigator plus fellowship and just okay. Veil of protection. Gain 10% armor. Additional armor is reduced by the amount of veil degradation. Okay. So, a lot of cool talents. And the rest of these are just, yeah, regulars. Okay, I think I'm gonna go Mind Over Matter. That'll make her super tanky for what she is. Yep. And then we'll go down here. This is a choose talent, common talent, regular talent. Okay. She's already got Inspire Courage. Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds plus 6. So, like for instance, I have 29, so 10% would be what? 2. If I had 30, it'd be 3, right? And then plus 6. So I'd receive 9 temporary wounds. Damn. That's whenever they reuse a heroic act. Increase by 3. Probably go with that one. Officer targets an ally. Steel Reserve. Resolve. Armor of Contempt. Okay. Do we have any of the... Oh, I can get more of these. Is it this one? Whenever an ally in combat gains an extra turn, the navigator gains a plus stack to the end of combat, stacks 5 times. I mean, that's just gonna give her more damage, right? Enemies moved. Whenever the navigator uses a navigator power, veil degradation is reduced by -1. Perception. I'm trying to see about one that... Where's the one that gives the crit? It gives the plus to crit. Is it... The Guise of Soul? Additional 3 movements. The first ally targeted by the navigator with a single target ability each turn gains the same amount of additional movement points. That sounds really good too. Wasn't there one that, where it gave 30% chance to crit? Strange Vitality is pretty good too. There it is. Threads of Fault. Bam. Grabbing that one. And I guess we grab more willpower, yeah? It's either that or perception. Awareness, dodge. Bam. Very nice. She has all of the officer abilities. Lidless Stare. All creatures in a cone in front of the navigator suffer 13 to 16 damage. Affected targets must also pass a plus 30 bonus willpower resistance or become stunned. Bitches. Damn, this is so good. All right, now. Crazy Blade Bitch. I really hope this isn't the DLC. I'm going to be really mad if it is. I have a feeling it is, but there was no way to like put it off till later, right? Okay, she's an archetype blade dancer. So nothing, okay. Um 50, 40, 25. Toughness is 45, okay. Bloody Mess. Anytime a Voidborn character scores a critical hit, 10% chance to double the damage. Crimson Tide. +1 stack of this effect whenever raining blood is inflicted again or whenever it starts a turn on a blood-covered cell. I think I want to do that. Wolf! Greetings and salutations, my friend. How you doing, bud? All enemies within Bloodstained with the Bloodstain get +1 stack. That's so cool. Whenever bleeding, burning, or toxin is inflicted, Blood Blast or Bloodstained effect gains +1 stack of this effect every time it suffers damage. And these are all advanced skills. Okay, let's grab Crimson Tide. Bam. And we should probably go ahead and grab weapon skills so she can hit shit, right? Yeah, absolutely. Bam. Chilling and killing, baby. That's right. That's right. What we got? What is this? Choose ability. Acrobatic Artistry. The Blade Dancer immediately returns to cell where they started on their turn. This movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Blade Dancer used Death from Above this turn. This movement repeats all uses of this ability in reverse. What? What? Repeats all uses of this ability. It costs 1 AP and it allows you to basically do reverse. What? 8 wounds. The Blade Dancer selects an ally until the end of combat. Attacks made by the Blade Dancer against enemies who have already attacked that ally gain 15 crit, hit chance, and 28 crit damage. This ability can be used multiple times per turn, but the bonuses do not stack. 1 friendly creature. Wow. Wow. Another cost 8 wounds. How many wounds does she fucking have? It doesn't say. Yeah, look, now she has 33. She had like 24 there for a second. It's because she's using her perception or willpower. Veil of Blades faces a side of their choice, immediately ends their turn. Until the beginning of the Blade Master's next turn, they can dodge area attacks without moving, are immune to all types of forced movement, gain 20 parry against attacks from that side, and can now parry attacks made against adjacent allies. While under the effects, the Blade Dancer can even parry ranged attacks, except ranged area attacks, made from that side. The chance to parry a ranged attack is calculated as if it were a melee attack, where the weapon's skill is equal to hit chance of the attack. If it is parried in this way, it can be redirected. The chance of redirection is equal to half the Blade Dancer's parry chance against the attack. Wow. Blood Oath. Target a single enemy vowing to dispatch their mark. The Blade Dancer's next attack against the selected enemy cannot be dodged or parried. If this attack kills the target, the Blade Dancer regains 13 wounds and gains 1 action point, along with an additional attack this turn. This ability can be used multiple times per turn. It costs 0 AP, by the way, but grants 1 AP and an additional attack per round. Jesus Christ, dude. The Blade Dancer's next attack inflicts +9 bleeding. This is captive audience. On all targets hit. These targets must pass toughness resistance test with a -20 penalty or become immobilized for 1 round. All enemy immobilized by captive audience count as full cover for the Blade Dancer and their allies when adjacent to those enemies. Whoa. Wow. Bleeding 9. What does that mean? Agility plus weapon skill bonus. Okay. Damn, this is good stuff, dude. I like this one. Costs 8 wounds, but if I kill a motherfucker, it costs. Next attack cannot be dodged or parried. And if it kills, the Blade Dancer regains 13 wounds and gains +1 AP. It can be used multiple times per turn, but grants the +1 AP and additional attack only once per round. Oh, I see. So okay, yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to kill, though, right? Veil of Blades looks really freaking crazy, too, dude. Like, just stand them out in the open. Veil of Blades, dude. It costs 0 AP. I'm going to grab Veil of Blades. This looks fucking cool. Oh, it costs 8 wounds to use. And I can't heal yet. Okay, so maybe we don't do that. Oath of Vengeance. Captive Audience looks pretty good, too. I think I'm going to go with Captive Audience. Or Acrobatic Artistry. That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to do this because you see how it says repeats all uses of this ability. So that means if you jump in and you don't kill a bunch of dudes, won't it then, if it repeats it in reverse? Yeah, we're gonna try that because that looks fucking cool. Strength, Medicae is intelligence, awareness, carouse is toughness. You don't need coercion. She's got 50 demo. That's pretty good. Strength. I think we should probably do that. It's either that or awareness, right? It's perception based. Yeah, we'll go athletics. We'll go athletics. Bam. Alrighty, so she has an armored body glove. She has an auto pistol in her other hand. I don't think we're going to need anything like that. It sucks. I guess I just drop these. There's nothing I can really do with them. Enemies targeted by navigators suffer -5 penalties to the characters to the end of the navigator's next turn. The penalty stacks and is prolonged until the navigator's okay. And this one also has castigating. 5 willpower, 5 perception. Infusing. Allies targeting gain 5 bonus to their characters to the navigator's turn. Bonus stacks. Okay. I don't care about that. So, where has 10 or more stacks of Blood Bless, they gain 1 resolve. That's interesting. Silent Verdict. Oh yeah, we got a new SWAD. Every time the wearer deals damage, the target's weapon skill and ballistic skill is reduced. Stacks up to 6 times. Do I give her better armor? So, my goggles give 3 logic. Hit and crit. What does hers give? Grants the wearer immunity to enemy crits for the first 3 rounds of combat. Bam. Nice. So, if I turn back on the goggles, what does it look like? Where's the thing for that? I know there's a button right here somewhere. There. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Nice. Got an eyepiece. Oh, yeah. Okay. Every time the wearer deals damage, bam. We don't want to give her that. See, what do I have on as a neck? Nothing. So that's yours. +3 logic. I guess I should give this to her. It's pretty cool. Yeah, she did take off her mask and give it to me. That's funny. What does he have? Toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. Nice. And he's got his trusty carapace, which is great. He's got a body glove. Requires dogmatic. She can't equip it. Very nice. What about you? What are you wearing? Light Spiner's breastplate. 20 armor. Character wearing this armor will dodge 50% of average enemy attacks in this chapter. The armor reduces incoming damage by 10%. Okay. Sweet. And she's using Spiner's blade. Can I give her this gigantic two-hand sword she gave me? The thing I'm wondering is... Look at that thing, dude. Strike count. They're both strike count 1. So why would I use... Why would I use this one? Oh, you can dual wield swords. I see. Ain't that something? How does that work? How does dual wielding work in this game? 8 to 13, 8 to 10. Do you just can you only attack with one per? Or do you attack with both? Yesterday I managed to liberate a region in mid-April. Nice! Hell yeah, dude. Ooh, 6 of your 8 soldiers? That sucks. The money helped a ton. I bet it did. Yeah, they both have strike count of 1. I don't know. I guess we're just going to find out. He has less ranged options now. Should I give him anything other than a shotgun? Like, the reason I have a shotgun is in case he's just not close enough to hit him with the sword. But if he's that close, he could just charge them, right? So, lasgun? Lasgun. Lasgun. I'll take this off. It doesn't change that either. See that? That's so weird. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Parry. If I take this off, doesn't change. Huh. I guess we'll find out when we hit combat for the first time. Yeah, she's got a lasgun. You've got a pistol and a sword. Actually, you know what? Should I give her a shotgun? Rather than a pistol and a sword, she has... Your weapon skill is shit, dude. Let's give her a pistol. Let's give her a freaking shotgun. If you want to get in the sister's face, well, that's your fucking problem. And trust me, it's going to be a fucking problem. Now, why can't... my characters use